Hello and welcome to another VanHack Talent Success Case. I am Ilya and I'm super excited to be joined by Ronnie, who's the CEO of Software Keep. He's hired many VanHackers and to help grow his business and is here to share a story of his experience. Hi Ronnie, how are you?
Hey Ilya, how are you? Nice to meet you. So I started my company about 3 years ago, and I actually didn't start scaling till I actually, believe it or not, met you. So
Cool.
my company is a one-of-a-kind VanHack case scenario where we have 6 or 7 employees who are all employed from VanHack, including my designers, including developers, and including people who do marketing for the company. So VanHack has been a really good channel and a source for us to actually hire premium quality talent to actually scale and grow the company. So when we initially started working with VanHack, I think it was a new experience for me, especially in trying to find out how to work remotely with teams. But I think having people working on both sides of the border, so I have a lot of people in Brazil and I have a lot of people in Canada and a lot of people who work remotely, employees who would go surfing, for example, Andrea, who goes surfing in Brazil and Hawaii and San Diego and all these other places who are still working for a company from different places. So I think VanHack actually truly gives people, from an employee perspective, I think it truly gives people no boundaries to actually go and work from anywhere. And for employers like us, I think for even an employer like myself, we work from anywhere in the world. And because we have so many people who work remotely, I think it actually helps our business grow. And the company itself will never stop because we have so many people in so many different time zones. Essentially, so if you look at like what agile is for larger companies, I think we're able to do that within teams of between 5 to 7 people and truly be a 24-hour operation versus, like an ABN AMRO who has a call center of 500 people or 600 people. And I think we've been able to actually scale and maintain that with a small team of 7 people.
Amazing. Wow, that's exciting. And yeah, you got the trifecta: developers, designers, and digital marketing talent. That's very, very cool. Let's go back to the beginning. When you first started working with VanHack, what was the maybe reason why you first kind of decided to say, hey, let's give this a shot?
Well, I mean, the reason we do for it, first I met you, and secondly, I would say, I think the problem was to find talented folks locally in Canada, and at least when you're a startup, we were looking for something that actually met our budgets. And the problem was, I think, where we were based, people were actually expecting a lot of really, really high, per hour salary for something where they did not have experience. So in Vancouver, especially, I can talk about it, where people have only, 2-3 years of experience. People are demanding, the salaries were very high. But I thought that with VanHack, I think everything from an employer perspective, and especially a bootstrap business like ours, I think that what we got out of it was somebody who could actually help us scale the business and also understood that we are a startup. And because we were a startup, they actually understood that, hey, maybe our salaries will scale when the business scales. And that's exactly where we are at today with a lot of our developers.
Very cool. So how was your first experience? Who was the first person you hired? How did that work?
Yeah, so the first person I hired was actually a designer named Andrea, and he was actually the first employee we guys had. And I think the whole process went quite well. Andrea actually still works with us. It's been over, I think, a year and a bit. Yeah. And and he's probably going to move to Canada in December. So I'm super excited to he's not even my first employee. He's also like one of my best friends now. So I really do feel like VanHack really sort of helped nurture that relationship. And for Andrea, I think, I can't speak for him as much, but I think it did help him travel. I think Andrea's passion was surfing. So he came and worked with me for 4 months, and then he said he wanted to follow his passion of surfing, and we had a talk. And he actually was, we actually encouraged him to go surfing around the world. So he went to San Diego, he went to Hawaii, he went to Vanuatu, I think he wants to go next. So it's something that, we really do encourage, and being a global citizen. That's
really cool. Yeah, our kind of vision is to create a borderless world. So it's definitely a great example with Andre. Cool. So, you're talking about the different experience. I'm curious, there's a lot of freelance networks out there. There's a lot of virtual places, like Upwork, etc. What made you go with VanHack specifically for this? Because what was the difference there?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I think there's a big community out there in VanHack, and people actually supporting each other. So I think anybody. I've used Upwork before to hire people before I actually started working with VanHack. I think with Upwork, the problem is there's a massive issue with quality control, which actually VanHack already has in place. I think with Upwork, you don't know who you're talking to. There's a lot of fake profiles out there. There's a lot of fake people out there. There's a lot of people who say who they are. For example, I don't know if I can say this, but it's, there was a guy who apparently he was supposed to be a French developer, but then I found out he's somebody from China who's posing as a French developer. But when I deal with VanHack, I know who people are. They're actually real people who talk to you one-on-one in real time, who actually have been pre-qualified and pre-checked, and you actually know that it's a human being. It's not some person trying to be somebody else or mimicking somebody else. And at least I think what's more important for me was to be able to communicate with these guys one-on-one and go through a proper interview process. I'm not a developer, but I actually had a lot of support from Ilya and his team and a few other people with a development background to actually audit and check these these developers basically, and to say how the qualifications work. So I really think that's what set VanHack aside for me. Even me being non-dev person, people were supporting me interviewing developers.
Very cool. That's awesome to hear. And how about people locally as well? So you've hired people that are actually in Canada on site. How was the experience with finding people even locally?
Oh yeah, for sure. So our head of marketing operations is a guy called Guilherme, who's actually a VanHacker, who's actually doing his masters. And I remember I messaged you, Ilya, one fine day saying, "Hey, I need somebody for AdWords from Brazil." And I think he was there within 3 hours, actually, for a job interview the same day, which is a testament to the power of VanHack.
That's pretty cool.
So, I think Guilherme is actually, he's gone on from when he started just to be like an AdWords consultant to actually running the whole marketing operations. Now Guilherme actually is a person who runs the day-to-day of the company. So, and he's only been here 7 to 8 months. So you can imagine like how much of a value proposition that VanHack provides to us.
Wow, that's incredible. Cool. Well, any tips you have for people who are maybe like either early stage startups or kind of growing scale ups, when they're doing interview processes and trying to find the right talent?
Yeah, I'd say a couple of things for sure. I'd say do your due diligence in terms of like have a proper hiring process. I think for myself, my learnings have been like now that we have grown a little bit, I think we need to have a proper hiring process. But even though if you don't have a hiring process, I think VanHack has a lot of employers or startups you can actually talk to who can actually support you. So it's a good community. It's not even like a recruitment tool. I think you should be using it more as a community, more so because people will be able to help you out. They help me out, so I think people will be able to help other people out as well.
Awesome, Ronnie. Thanks so much for sharing all your experience with us. Hope the team is growing well and you find even more great people on the VanHack platform. And how can people get in touch with you if they have any questions?
Yeah, people can always reach out to me at ronnie@softwarekeep.com if they have any questions. I'm also on the VanHack Slack channel. So if you ever want to reach out to me on the VanHack Slack channel, I'm on there as Rteja, Rteja. You can always drop me a direct message. Always here to help you guys.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, Ronnie. And see you soon.
Thanks, buddy.